Alright guys, we're going to be doing a spider arm on a Samsung washer. So you can see the drum is out around, or it looks like it's not spinning perfectly circle. The noise isn't coming from the tub hitting the side. It's actually internal of the tub. So another way to diagnose is put your finger on the tub right here. See if the drum moves. And if there's any metal in there, that's how you know your spider arm went bad. It'd be a WF330, about 14 years. The drain and the power zip tied out the way. Thank you. Alright, parts just came in. Alright, the back cover is just 2 Phillips screws. Looks like you go up and out. We'll start with this plug. Just untwist it, get it out, squeeze it together. Alright, so all these wires fit pretty tight. I think it's better to take the screws off first. All 3 screws look the same. Alright, on this plug, it's going to be squeezing side to side. And wiggling. On this plug, you're going to want to push right here. Alright, so this bolt's going to be a 19mm. If you have an impact, just impact it. If you don't, this is your makeshift impact. Just use a hammer. Hit it a couple times. It shouldn't be on there too tight. Just wiggle it. 6 bolts, 10mm. This is my second time doing this spider arm. You see my old notes. Just remember the plugs are going to go back bottom right. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take these shocks off. 13mm. Alright. Take the drain cover off. And this is just a plug. You could just pinch the line if you don't want anything to come out. Start scooping. I think it's rocks and metal. Alright, 10mm for the drain. Oh yeah. I'm gonna pull it out. Push down on the tab. Alright, so we got the dispenser door out. Now the clamp. Squeeze it. Pull it up. Wiggle it off. You can take off the 2 screws that hold the dispenser. And it should just pull out. Get it out the way. Let it hang off the side. Alright, before you take your front cover off, you can get in here and unplug it right here. Alright, so this is going to be the air vent for the drum. Using a Phillips. Should be enough. And we're going to squeeze the clamp. Just going to take the whole thing off. Just lift up and get it out the way. 2 screws to hold the door. Just lift it off the hook. These 3 screws right here. They hold the door latch. And now the door's closed. It's a door lock. You can let all that fall back. One's going to be shorter. 2 are going to be longer. Clamp. Spring loaded. I usually try to get it by the spring. I don't know if you can see that, but get it by the spring. And then take it out the whole ring. If you have a pedestal, you'd have to pull the pedestal out and get the 2 screws from the bottom of the frame. I don't think I ever put those screws back in. And I'll leave those screws out because all the pumps I've changed. Alright, so the rubber just comes out this little lip. put it down. Yep, so there was a screw right here, and right here. This is gonna get in the way of the drum. Tape it out the way. You see I have it labeled top and bottom. And it's pretty simple. Hose clamp. Twist it. Don't get cut by the metal. And that's it. Alright, these weights are going to be 13 millimeter. So, I think if you drop this, it'll explode. So don't drop it. Go ahead and unscrew it. Something like that. And this clamp, it's adjustable. If you tighten it, it squeezes the clamp. Alright, so with the seal off, now you can definitely tell it's not even connected to the tub at all. It's just floating in here. Alright, so we're gonna be untwisting wire. Blue, green, red. So just pop them off. And here we're showing continuity, so the element should be good. So I'm just gonna pull this off real quick. I think we're gonna tape it. And why not? You can just do this by hand. Squeeze and pull. Squeeze and pull. We'll take off the last two shocks. So all we got left are two springs, and it's coming out. Alright, so right here we gotta let go of these clips so the springs can pop out. This is clip number 2. Just gonna kind of work it out. It's a 2x6, kind of bracing it a little bit to the right, so we're gonna do the left one first. Alright, so it just takes brute force. The best way to get it out was with the tab at the top, but you have to lift it over the pump. So I'm over the pump, and we're coming out. Put it on this garbage can. Yep, that's heavy. Alright, so we're back to a 10 millimeter. Take off all the toe bolts. So I got all the bolts out. Ended up being 5, 10, 12. 12 bolts. Alright, so down here where the plugs were for the heater, it looks like there's a good place to kind of pop it up. On the top, there's a spot right there. Yeah, this thing is broken in pieces. But we're gonna take it apart this way. You see the spindle doesn't move. So we're gonna spray it with some WD. Oh, I heard it. Got it. Look at this. See, it's completely separate from everything. Alright, so I just opened the package. We have 6 bolts, which is good. Alright, so I got a 10 mil on here. I already broke the first bolt. So all these bolts are done. All the heads just break off. Oh, she's getting there. This washing machine's 14 years old. I'm just trying to save it. It was never leaking. but I'm going to keep this for backup. It still spins freely, so I'm not going to change the bearing yet. Get it on the bearing, get it on the seal, and it came with this O-ring. There's an O-ring right here. That O-ring down there. It goes right into that slot right there. Give a little tap down. I'm gonna start tightening them, but we're not gonna go all the way tight. A little bit of resistance, and we're gonna do it like a cylinder head. Do the rest of it by hand. 10. That barely fits. Look at this pen. There you go. Alright. It's just, I really thought I could just pick it up by myself. My son had to help me with that part. That's way heavier than I thought. Clip it in. We're probably gonna go for the shocks, just to like stabilize everything. Second one's lined up. Get a couple hand threads. So I'm back here at the back shocks. That's the back shocks. That's how we're sitting. Alright, this is wire back up. Don't forget R for red, G for ground, or green, B for blue. And then we gotta wire tie all this back up. We're gonna go clockwise. This J part goes up here. The bottom part goes to the pump. Squeeze it, let it go. To the side right here. I'll pop it off. And feed it down. Get in that hole. And then move this foam down where it could hit the washer wall. So, probably about right there. So, this little rinse port is a little bit offset from center. The main thing is the drain. You want the drain to be right with the middle port. Before you tighten the clamp, just make sure everything's sitting good. Alright, and then go recheck. Make sure it's sitting in the groove. Hand thread it, zap it in. Give it a little twisty. I don't know if I leave this clamp facing forward because it might cut the seal, so maybe put it on the side. Alright, so I'm putting the front cover back on. I got some tape right here. Gotta sit where it's supposed to go. Put a door lock. Switch. Get this centered. Alright, tape's coming off. Back on. Put the top screws in. Let's keep working it. That's it. It's locked in. Alright, this is always fun. want to get the whole top. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Gonna flip it. So I had to use my fingers. That's the door. And make sure the wires come through. 2 plugs. Dispenser flip back around. Just want to get it close. Get that guy on there. Squeeze it. Right there. So don't forget the 2 plugs for the control panel. You got it. Look up here. This is hose right there. Got 3 screws, a drain hose, 3 more parts. Let's go. There's the pin right there, pin right there, pinhole, pinhole. Tight, but not too tight. A little bit of lube. Remember, this is magnetic, so it's gonna try to grab the edges. Just get it splined in. We've got the 19 on impact now. Clip back in. I think this only goes in one way. Hopefully it's this way. It's tight. Yep. Straight up. Couple screws. I cleaned it up pretty good. Let's make sure the vent's clean. I've got the drain, supply, and power. Then on high, perfectly balanced. Alright, if you tackle this, really not that bad of a job.